Today's top 25 tech stories. Subscribe and hit the bell for daily tech updates. Show HN, Seal, open source P2P encrypted chat in Rust and Tori. Apple has released public betas for iOS 27 and macOS Golden Gate, with matching. The platform uses the signal-style ohm/megohm protocols to encrypt messages, which travel directly between peers over lib2p before leaving the device, ensuring end-to-end encryption and no server-side message storage. OpenSUSE shares tips for refreshing expired repository key. The OpenSUSE project has resolved an issue with an expired repository signing key, which prevented users from installing new packages. To resolve the issue, users can refresh the repository metadata and fetch the updated signing key manually, as detailed in the project's blog post. Apple Private Cloud Compute SoC HomeOS is Apple maintains various security certifications for its service offerings, ensuring security assurance for users. Linux-based operating systems with Android-based devices. This development enables users to experience the benefits of open-source software on a Fairphone device. Apple official refurb store. Save hundreds on our top picks of the week. Apple's official certified refurbished store offers significant discounts on top products, including iPhones, MacBooks, and accessories, with a rigorous refurbishment process and Apple's 1-year limited warranty and 14-day returns policy. The store features top picks, including the Apple Studio Display XDR and MacBook Neo, with prices often hundreds of dollars lower than retail. Update your app. Private Internet Access finally breaks its silence with a wave of network upgrades. Private Internet Access PIA has rolled out network infrastructure upgrades, urging users to update their apps to take advantage of the improvements. The updates focus on routing, capacity, and everyday reliability, with features like smarter automatic reconnections aimed at enhancing user experience. Apple's Big Siri AI-powered smart home hub is nearly here. Apple is set to release 3 new smart home devices, including updated versions of Apple TV and HomePod Mini, as well as a new smart home hub device called HomePod, featuring a 7-inch display, facial recognition, and customizable clock faces. Apple releases iPadOS 26.6 RC, plus watchOS 26.6 and more. Apple has released the release candidate RC versions of its upcoming software updates, including iPadOS 26.6, watchOS 26.6, and more, marking the end of the beta testing period. The final versions of these updates are expected to launch in the next week or so, bringing under-the-hood improvements and potentially last-minute bug fixes. Apple releases new iOS 27, iPadOS 27, macOS 27, and tvOS 27 public betas. Apple has released the 4th public betas of iOS 27, iPadOS 27, tvOS 27, and macOS Golden Gate, allowing users to test the new software on compatible devices. The betas bring new features, including new wallpapers for macOS, and a shortcut splash screen and new Game Center icon for iOS. Apple releases iOS 26.6.1, iPadOS 26.6.1, and macOS 26.6.2. Apple has released iOS 26.6.1, iPadOS 26.6.1, and macOS 26.6.2 to address various security vulnerabilities, including WebKit and kernel issues, as well as a logic problem that could leak sensitive information. The updates also fix memory corruption vulnerabilities and are available for download. Apple One gets even better in iOS 27. Here's what's new. Apple One subscribers will gain access to new features in iOS 27, including increased usage limits for Apple Intelligence features, such as Siri AI and image generation, and 4 upgrades to HomeKit Secure Video, including 4K video streaming and recording, generated video descriptions, search and clips, and noteworthy clips. iOS 27 Beta 4 update available to download for iPhone and iPad. Apple has released iOS 27 Beta 4 and iPadOS 27 Beta 4 for developers, featuring performance improvements and updates to the Liquid Glass interface, including a slider to adjust intensity. The update is available for download through the Apple Developer Beta Program. .NET 11 Preview 7 adds passkeys, incremental XAML hot reload, and shell route templates to MAUI. Microsoft has released .NET 11 Preview 7, which includes updates to .NET MAUI, such as cross-platform passkey authentication, incremental XAML hot reload, and shell route templates, as well as improvements to development workflows on Android and Apple platforms. Beta 4 of iPadOS 27, macOS 27, tvOS 27, watchOS 27, visionOS 27 released. Apple has released Beta 4 updates for iPadOS 27, macOS 27, tvOS 27, watchOS 27, and visionOS 27, making them available for download to registered developers. Mac Daily News presents live notes from Apple's Q326 conference call. Apple reported record third-quarter revenue of $109.4 billion, a 16% year-over-year increase, and quarterly diluted earnings per share of $2.02, up 29% year-over-year. The company's quarterly results exceeded Wall Street expectations, with revenue of $108.9 billion and diluted EPS of $1.89 predicted. Apple iOS 27, iPadOS 27, macOS 27, tvOS 27, visionOS 27, watchOS 27, Japanese letter 6, Chinese letter. Apple has released Beta 6 versions of its operating systems, including iOS 27.0, iPadOS 27.0, macOS 27.0, tvOS 27.0, visionOS 27.0, and watchOS 27.0. to members of its Apple Developer Program. tvOS 26.6. Apple's tvOS 26.6 update still appears to be affected by an issue where using AirPods controls to play/pause media starts or pauses music on a random track instead of controlling the playing video. Apple has 3 new smart home products nearly ready to launch, per report. Apple is preparing to launch 3 new smart home products, including an updated Apple TV set-top box and an updated HomePod mini, both featuring faster chips, and a highly anticipated new smart home hub device with a 7-inch square display and Siri AI capabilities, expected to debut between October and early next year. You can now download iOS 27 Beta 5 for iPhone and more. Apple has released the 5th betas of its latest software, including iOS 27, iPadOS 27, macOS 27, tvOS 27, visionOS 27, and watchOS 27, with Xcode 27 Beta 5 available for developers. What's new in tvOS 26.6 and HomePod 26.6? Apple released tvOS 26.6 and HomePod software 26.6 on July 27, 2026, featuring under-the-hood refinements, bug fixes, and performance improvements, with no significant new user-facing features. Apple releases tvOS 26.6 and HomePod 26.6. Apple has released tvOS 26.6 and HomePod 26.6, featuring performance and stability improvements, as well as security updates. New HomePod Mini 2, release date, features, price, and rumors. Apple is reportedly preparing the 2nd generation of HomePod Mini, with a launch expected this fall. The new speaker is expected to feature a much faster chip, replacing the current S5 processor, and support for Siri AI. Google TV is reportedly the #3 streaming OS in the US. Google TV has reportedly become the #3 streaming operating system OS in the US, accounting for 14% of the market share, surpassing Samsung's Tizen, Apple's tvOS, and other smaller platforms. This marks a significant improvement from previous data, which had Google TV trailing behind Samsung's Tizen in North America. Apple iOS 27, iPadOS 27, macOS 27, Chinese letter BETA 6, Japanese letter Chinese letter Chinese letter. Apple has released Beta 6 versions of iOS 27, iPadOS 27, macOS 27, tvOS 27, visionOS 27, and watchOS 27 for developers. The beta software builds, dated August 17, 2026, include features such as AI-powered Siri, Apple Intelligence app integration, and performance enhancements. macOS 27 Golden Gate Beta 4 available to download. Apple has released macOS 27 Golden Gate Beta 4, available for download through software update, ISO file, or full installer, featuring performance improvements, liquid glass interface tweaks, and enhancements to Spotlight Search, Mail, and Siri. Apple releases tvOS 26.6. Apple has released tvOS 26.6, the latest update to the tvOS operating system, for the Apple TV 4K. The update is available for download through the Settings app and can also be automatically installed for devices with software updates activated. Thanks for watching. Like and comment below. See you in the next update.